these one shots set up for any size group because apparently everybody on the crew is asleep except for you two.
I mean, there's a reason it's designed this way.
All I am going to say is if the ship gets jacked up, the mechanic can't say crap because if he was here, he could fix it. Obviously, the mechanic is working with Baloo on what pieces they were taking apart to turn into explosives on the ship.
I think they're on a secret fuzzy date.
Oh,
Wait, would it be a fuzzy lizard date?
it would
Yeah.
be a fuzzy lizard date, yeah. That's how lizard bears come about. That would be kind of
Oh
terrifying.
my god, I just choked on my drink. That is the worst thing I've ever heard.
It's like cocaine bear with, skin conditions.
So tall like the lizard, but no, it has to be short but lizardy.
Short
tall
but
and hairy is
lizardy
just
and antennas.
yeah. Well, because tall and hairy is just Chewbacca. I had really, really, really bad dry throat the other day, and I made a wonderful Chewbacca noise trying to gargle. I don't think I could ever do that again unless I'm super dehydrated.
Well, I hope you can do it again someday and we catch it on recording. But I do not want you dehydrated because, it is that time of year where, you breathe and you're officially dehydrated.
I mean, apparently, when my AC wasn't working for 3 weeks, apparently
Oh,
I had some sort of heat stroke going on, like just
I
constantly.
I'm not doubting it. We had that 100-degree out of nowhere in the middle of spring crap that happened.
I mean, that's called living in Arizona. And of course, my AC was out during that time.
Oof.
But I didn't even realize it. They're like, I had someone who was like going through all the symptoms. And I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, you realize you have heat stroke. I was like, nah, I don't. I think I'm fine. No, I'm not asking you. You do. I'm like, oh, okay.
That would
Say
be the
so.
heat stroke making you make bad choices.
Oh, I don't need a heat stroke to make bad choices.
So on the plus side, it totally means that we're going to a desert planet, if that helps.
Mm. And we're taking ice. I read.
You read the things.
I did. I read the thing. What the fuck is it? Are we officially go?
We are officially a go, yes. It's going to be a short session, but that means we're going to get so much more done in so little time. I love it.
A short session? What do you mean?
Well, short on people.
Oh, well, yeah.
So we are doing job number 9, the deep ice run. Your job that's already been set up for you guys is to pick up frozen water tanks to be delivered to a desert colony on a planet called Tatooine, in case you've never heard about it.
Oh, never heard of it.
There's a new colony that they're trying to start down there called Dust Haven, because that's what you call a place when it's not, Moe's something.
Dust Haven?
Dust Haven.
D-U-S-T?
D-U-S-T, yes.
H. Okay. Okay.
And the cool payout, get it? Cool payout. It's going to be 3,800 credits for just going and picking up the frozen ice containers and delivering to this colony, and they will be paying you out lickety split, no complications, easy street.
Hey.
You know, every time you say things like that, I go, huh, how bad is Jim lying to me today?
And conveniently, as you think that out loud, there's a crack of all of a sudden your ship pops out of hyperspace because of course your client gave you the coordinates to go through as the starburn pops out of hyperspace conveniently in the orbit of a floating comet that's got this beautiful little ice trail that from a distance looks like ice but up close looks like a bunch of freaking debris coming off the thing.
Okay, I was gonna say, why the fuck are they all these little space birds hanging out?
They're things that may or may not fly around in space. Totally not Minox.
Hmm.
Or maybe they're
Okay, enough.
space debris from the asteroid. Don't roll
Mm.
poorly and we won't find out.
Don't we have to do the thingamajiggy that we always do? The force rolly thingamajig?
Yeah, roll destiny points.
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
I mean, we should. Let me clear it real quick.
Look at that. I am learning things.
You are not just learning things, you are mastering things.
Master is a broad statement.
On the council you are. Title of master we deny you.
God.
And Aurora wants to make sure you have some light side points.
Well, yeah, because he's all emo.
On that note, you can increase the dark side pool by one. Actually, I have to look it up. Do you take a light side point, or do you just add a dark side point?
Are you a dark sider now?
I'm officially a dark sider.
Oh.
Okay, 26 morality.
It just means I add an extra dark side.
Okay.
Your morality is falling. There's more and more things opening up to you as options.
Yep.
He's embracing the emo. It's fine.
And as you guys pop out of hyperspace, immediately you notice on this comet that there's a pinging locator for your client's pickup spot right here at the very front of the floating rock.
Me thinks we should fly towards it.
Go for it, pilot.
Okay.
So you're just gonna fly right to it?
I mean, should I like send out a beacon and say, hello, anybody home?
Hey, that's totally an option.
I mean, okay, fine. For once, we will announce our presence.
You get on the comms and announce your presence. And immediately, you know, the screen pops up as the forewoman you know as Zinta. She's Zabrakian. She's got very eloquently sharpened horns on her little crown of horns on her head. As she looks and goes, ah, finally! The delivery people are here to pick up the ice.
We're right on time. Hell, we're early.
Ah, you're here early enough that your cargo is still nicely frozen and waiting for pickup. Do you think you can come dock here and get that picked up? Or do you need a tracking beacon to help you out here, pilot?
You are very kind to offer, but I think that as long as you have a door open for us, we'll be good.
All right. Come on by to Hangar 3. You can't miss it. It's got the blue lights blinking. As obviously that staticky sound you're hearing must be the interference from the comet's tail.
I want to say I'm colorblind, but I'm not going to.
It's basically just right here.
I know. And I'm not colorblind. I just think it'd be really funny. Oh, yeah, it's the blue thing. Oh, yeah, I can't see blue.
I mean,
am I good to roll?
Some species can't. So yes, you're good to roll. As you go flying through the little debris field here, and you get really close to docking, and you're just about to dock without dinging anything, but you do have a brief moment where you almost hit something, and it gives the ship one strain. Since our mechanic's not here, do you want me to put that on the ship there for you?
Yes, please. Ooh, and because he's not here, he can't grumble about it.
He'll just show up and go, "What is the system strain?"
Be like, we'll just have to fix it before it gets back.
Okay, and you notice that this comet is moving, so it's going to be a little difficult to dock with it, but you feel confident. You got this. You feel very confident.
I always feel confident with my flying.
And let me just check one thing real quick on the ship. I was pretty sure I knew the answer, but let me check. Oh, it's -2 handling.
What's -2 handling?
Your ship. You get 2 black dice because it's a flying bus.
You have the talents for skill jockey?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you remove blacks from your checks? Be on your pilot or your racer specialization tree.
Feel like maybe I do. I feel like
it would be on the combat tab down at the bottom.
Let's see.
You got
I do have
throttle.
skill jockey.
You do have skill jockey, so it removes 1 black per rank. You have 1 rank. So that means I have to take 1 of those black dice out of there, which brings it back down to 2. All right. So you feel very confident about connecting up to this thing without their silly beacon giving you a blue dice to help because you're confident shit. Go ahead and make your piloting check once you're ready.
I thought I already did.
This was to get there. Now you're going to dock with this thing.
Oh.
That was safely flying up to the comet without getting, lambasted by ice fumes and stuff. Now you're going to connect over there. Super smooth. I'm prophesizing it. See? Super smooth with your 3 successes connects you there. What would you like for your triumph?
I think I'm gonna go with my standard of my beautiful flying, impressing people enough that they decide to be loose-lipped when talking to me, so we find out extra information we need to help us along the way.
Okay. You pull the starburn in beautifully, syncing up with the rotation of this comet. And you notice like all 4 people in the hangar there as you pull in, they're all giving you a look of like, holy shit. You pulled it in perfect. One guy even like claps, a nice not slow clap, before he gets back to sweeping the hangar bay of ice crystals. As immediately the Zabrak you spoke to, you recognize her walking down the little stairway to meet you as the hangar opens up on your ship. And Zintra just looks at you and says, "Wow, you are a good pilot. That is some flying."
Thank you. I've been doing this for just a little bit.
And, she gives you the look like, no doubt. As she looks at her crew and she whistles this interesting little and snaps her fingers, and they immediately drop what they're doing, and a big loading droid shows up and starts grabbing canisters with the workers using the hover carts. And they're moving these really large canisters. They look almost like the size of the natural propane tanks you see outside people's houses, the little 10-foot by 4-foot dealios. And they start loading 8 of these into your cargo hold, and you just see the condensation frozen on the outside of each one of them with whiffs of ice coming off. little systems green monitor popping up on the color display.
Is there anything special we need to know about this cargo? Other than it being cold.
She looks at you and smiles, and she's just like, other than being cold. Well, if it helps, this is 100% pure H2O, harvested this week off the comet here. And as long as you have power to these couplers, as she coughs some comet dust out of her lungs and points to the little indicator box on the side that shows 4 fully charged arrows, and she says you should have about 92 hours of power for each one of the refrigeration units to keep it 100% frozen.
How far are we from Tatooine?
If you were to make a great jump of 1 success, you are 72 hours away.
So no shopping at the mall or the casino before we go.
Or just roll really well. And she laughs at you and says, and don't you think these customers are being cheap, because they are paying 5 times the going rate for this frozen water? I mean, I know Tatooine is a hot, dry place, but to pay 5 times the going rate for H2O, they must really be wanting these water canisters.
That's really sad. Who bargained for tax for these people?
Well, the mayor, she contacted us directly, and she offered us top credit for this delivery. So this mayor, whoever this Ral Oten is, she's paid up front. So yeah, it's gonna be a good delivery. As all of a sudden you're realizing you totally should have charged more. If they're getting 5 times the going rate, you should have been getting something equal to that. If you wanted to be greedy.
I feel like there's a little bit more to the story. Hey, Castock.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
What's up?
Yeah. Oh, I was trying to ask you something, but Jim wanted to go first, so I'm going to let him talk first.
No, go ahead.
You might have something much more important to say than me.
No, it was just gonna be. It was just gonna be the formal woman and talking some smack. Yeah, feel free to talk amongst yourselves real quick.
So, Castocks, how do we feel about the fact that they got paid 5 times what this water is worth, and we took this as a normal fee? How's that sitting with you?
It sounds like we're being cheated. It sounds like bad business partners making a deal to cheat us.
Now, are you saying this
I think we need to,
or just amongst yourselves?
Oh, no, I'm saying this very loud.
Out loud.
Oh no. Okay. She kind of wrinkles her nose.
To renegotiate. So I think we need an impromptu renegotiation on this deal.
I feel like someone's getting cheated. Is it the planet getting cheated? Is us delivery people getting cheated? Is there more to this story? What's going on? New friend of ours that I can't pronounce your name. Blinkety blink blink blink.
As she just puts her hands up and gives you the whoa, space friends. There's no cheating going on. The price was posted on the open bids for whoever was the first one to click the button. And I'm just looking out for me and my crew to get some bonus pay here in regards to the rate that they're paying. I mean, I don't see the payout for our hard-mined, fresh, clean H2O compared to the standard shipping rates for delivery. I mean, if you want to negotiate a little extra for delivery, I'm open to that if you'd like to. And by the way, I'll totally give you a free upgrade if you want. One of you two wants to negotiate with her.
Yeah.
I think we should.
She's still all impressed.
That Mr. Castox here is in this perfect position to use his people are dumber than him mind tricks and negotiate us a little bit better. Because my people are dumber than us mouthiness has not gotten us any extra money anywhere.
Okay, is the pool set?
And now, quick question: are you gonna just
Uh-huh.
straight up negotiate?
Yes.
Okay, then your pool is ready, unless someone's flipping a destiny point.
So
No
since
more-
I'm dark side, I can use my 2 dark side points to change it to be 1 success and a threat.
Okay, so you're making it a clear wash.
Oh no, choose 1 success and 1 threat.
Okay, so 1 success. As she
Yep.
is totally willing to up your pay, because she's just like, hey, friend, we've got you almost completely loaded. It would be foolish for me to not share the wealth. As she totally whips out her data pad, which is the equivalent of a calculator, which is what I'm pulling up right now, to add 5%, which would raise your fee up to 3,990 credits, and we'll just call it a cool 4K.
Okay, sounds good.
And she basically whips out the 200 credits and gives you that right here on the spot and says the rest of the delivery fee will be paid on delivery. So you have 200 credits. And she totally goes up to your shrewd negotiator and she's like, Castox, right?
Yeah.
I'm good with names and manicuring my horns. I noticed you had a little bit of space left in your cargo hold there. Just a friendly bit of business advice for someone as shrewd as yourself. If you were interested, you may want to fill up your cargo hold with some extra H2O if you're interested in buying some. Definitely sounds like it would be worth your money for some extra spending creds to have your cargo hold completely full of water on that desert planet.
Are we going to get it at the regular rate versus the rate that you've negotiated with the settlement?
I'll give it to you at the regular rate. She winks at you, kind of sultry.
Okay.
Get it, Doc.
All right. We'd love to take more off your hands then.
You know, because we got this whole Zabrak on Zabrak thing going on here.
She wants you to rub her whole floor.
As
Well,
she totally.
If the delivery window gets expanded, then then something like that could happen. But right now our window's too short to mess around.
As she gladly looks at at Aurora and says, Captain, if I can borrow your business partner.
Yeah, go for it. You have yourself an excellent time. And I big wink, big obnoxious wink.
With the big obnoxious wink, do me a favor. Aurora, give me a charm roll as you're playing matchmaker here.
Oh, 100%. Do I even have charm? Watch, it's going to be like nothing. Oh, I do have charm. All right, look at that. Am I good to roll?
You're good to roll. As she just smiles at you and says, "We may be a while, guys. Don't break your backs loading too fast, because we may have to load up some additional supplies shortly." As she's gonna take Castox to her office to do some quick negotiating, since you've got about 30 encumbrance left in space.
Oh my god. Okay, so this says in my success, gain an extra scene in which the target is willing to support you for each additional success.
And you have
which to
3
me
success.
seems like Castox is getting some.
As long as Castox is willing, Castox will definitely get some during the negotiation process for the water.
Anything to help make a better deal.
Well, you take one for the team.
I
give-
will. I'll release my dark side into temptation and give into temptation.
So she is willing to, by the way, at fair market value, after we have this fade to dark moment when you stop off at the cafeteria where she gets some quick beverage and finger food for you, then to her office, then to her sleeping room that's adjacent to her office where she kept her data pad for negotiations, and invites you in and gives you a glass of Corellian whiskey. Gets a quick little bound chicken wow as long as you're willing. 'Cause she's been on this place with only employees for quite a while. And she is totally willing to give you the rest of your encumbrance, which is going to be 6 50-gallon barrels of clean, pure H2O. Each cost 500 credits.
Okay.
You can't talk her down after giving her a good time? Damn. Maybe it was just a mediocre time.
Try to negotiate again.
Oh, you're going to negotiate.
Negotiation.
This is pillow talk, baby.
That's my kind of pillow talk.
And
Business.
and because she has had alcohol and she has Castox time, I will give you both a blue and an upgrade.
Okay. I guess
Did
same
you
as before.
roll
One
the
success and one threat.
same thing? What the hell?
Looks like it.
Wow, that was very non-special negotiation times there, Castox.
Apparently it's been a while.
It was a little underwhelming, but whatever spatial
But it's better than nothing.
movement you can feel is worth it. So
Hey,
she'll
so-
cut you a little slack in the total price if you want all 6 of those barrels.
Yeah.
She'll do it for you. She'll do it to you for only 2,850 credits.
Okay.
And if what she said is true, it might be worth up to 15,000 credits if you find some sucker to buy it at that price. Or it could just mean somebody's that hard up for water.
I mean,
They just have to believe. All they have to do is believe me on the value. And now that I'm dark side, I'm okay with being completely dishonest. 5 times. This is not worth 6 times. As long as we don't have to negotiate with them again, then it's fine.
And if I have to come back tomorrow when you're thirstier, it's 7 times the value.
oh my god, I cannot be the moral compass. We need David to like show back up. I cannot be the moral compass.
So after,
just-
you know,
Crew member who's not even a crew member to get some so we can get more water. Cannot be the moral compass.
this is when you take the Ewok and ask, "Are you into furries?"
Oh my god, is the Ewok of age?
You're not sure, so you're not going to offer.
Exactly.
You are mom to this crew. So you guys get loaded up, and by the time Castox and her come back, she whispers to a couple of the guys, and you see them go over to one of the lifters, and they hit a button, and 6 barrels dispense out of this giant soda can dispensary-looking machine that does 55-gallon barrels, and they shoot off 6 barrels, and she takes the 2,850 credits off of you, and gives you a writ proving the purity of the water on the barrels. And if you happen to return the barrels, there's a 200 credit refund that you'll get back if you return the 6 barrels.
Ooh, it's like a propane tank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
She really
well,
just
maybe
wants
when
Castox to come back for another roll in the space blanket, but
when we return them, maybe I can negotiate with her and see if we have a better time.
somebody else is feeling lonely.
Well,
Just jealous. Just jealous. Oh, whoa! Did you want to insult me? I'm here for it.
oh no. I was gonna say, if you included as you included yourself as part of the negotiation, if she's down for that, then it might have gotten more. But
It's a party.
Hey, when you're working on a lonely space station, you look for any excitement you can get.
Hey, I play bimbo very well.
And see, the best thing is she doesn't even know that yet.
Right?
Okay, so
See,
you
if
guys
I
are...
wanted.
Oh.
Go. Never mind.
No, go ahead.
Skip. Oh, I was just gonna say something snarky. I'll have plenty of other opportunities. Keep going. We're good.
So you guys are all loaded up. You've got your extra water for some side creds.
which was the water? You said 5,280 or
2,850. If you
2,850. Okay.
if you sell it, it would be worth up to somewhere between 3,000 and 15,000 credits.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure only the mayor can afford those ×5 rates, but you could probably price gouge somebody as a water merchant. If you
We're
want
not
to be
price gouging
that guy.
people that live in the desert.
No, only the mayor.
Yes, because politicians are corrupt.
Yep.
But we sell it to other normal people. We're giving them normal prices.
Reasonably normal prices, within 100%.
I will stab you. And I will go borrow her horns.
I mean, he may just be into that. You've never seen Hollow movies until you've seen Zabrakians lock horns.
Who's to say I haven't?
So is there
Yeah,
anything
they
you guys...
didn't show those at the Jedi Temple. Sorry.
So are you guys ready? Oh.
Yes, we are ready to go. I'm assuming I need to pilot to get out of here. Sorry, I haven't talked to people that aren't at my stupid fucking work in way too long.
Aw. You means you're overdue
Actually,
some TLC.
Yes. Well, that's why our meeting. That's part of why our meeting went so long on Friday too. Was I was having way too much fun talking to adults.
Hey, the social interaction is important, especially when it's not work people.
I mean, it is now also work people, just work people I like. I mean, what?
So you're ready to go ahead and take off? Go ahead and give me the one piloting check I need to safely get out of here without scratching the ship up.
Okay, there we are. What? You were drunk typing, Jim, with your worth.
I was drunk typing?
Worth. So I got a success and an advantage.
Yes, you did. As you pull off, you slowly see the forewoman. She's looking at your window, waving to you all. She had a good time. She totally puts the one overall back on her shoulder that was drooping down all sultry like. She totally goes, "Wow, what a pilot." And that negotiator was good with his mouth, too. As we get the screen swipe, as somebody's going to set the hyperspace there, right?
Someone's gonna what the what?
Do an
Make an
astrogation.
astrogation roll.
Oh, you cut out. That's what I was.
That's not me.
Yeah, no, that's me.
Turn mechanic who's missing.
Hey!
Not sure. Woo! Does that mean we cut some time off our travel?
So you did reduce the time spent doing the calculations.
Okay.
However, it did drop you out of hyperspace a little further away from the planet than you intended. Now, you totally have the mayor's contact information. Do you want to reach out to her for the details while you're flying towards the planet?
Sure, I can be more communicative than I normally am. Why not?
Okay.
That's called growing as a space pilot, right? Not just
Yeah.
dropping in and being like, "Hey, I'm here. Take me your money. Take your kids."
I mean, on the contract, it specifically said contact the mayor, when you get within, communications range, which is totally what you're in right now.
I read a contract? That doesn't sound like me. Too many contracts in my life right now.
Well, 50% of a contract.
Maybe the engineer read it.
Someone just gave me the cliff notes.
Yep.
Wait, who's our engineer? Is that our mechanic?
Yeah.
That's David. Yeah, who's missing
Oh
currently.
my god. He is also our contracts guy. I mean, I think that we need a bigger crew.
I mean, you can always give the, Ewok the job. She has fur and she has explosives.
Yes, that is exactly who I want to be looking over my contracts to make sure I'm not getting shafted.
The Ewok shows up and points to the contract over on the ground and blows up and goes, "Contract, bada boom."
This contract no good. Try again.
This one explode. Much bad.
This one, too bad. So sad.
So after a few moments of static, when you message the mayor, Mayor Rawl Oten, she gets on the horn and she's like, "Oh, thank God, yeah, you're the shipping specialist bringing the frozen water, correct?"
I ain't the pizza delivery girl, so yes.
Ah, excellent. So normally at our humble homestead of a settlement, we would normally have you drive into the middle of town and drop off the cargo container. But I'm actually hoping for a little discretion because I was told that your crew could be very discreet when needed.
What kind
Sure
of
can for a cost.
Yeah, what exactly are you asking of us?
I was looking to see, and you totally have the coordinates of this little settlement on your map. And she sends you a addendum to the delivery, which basically moves a little bullseye on your map over into the rocky outcropping that's like less than half a mile away, where it looks like there's a small rocky hill that kind of spreads out into an almost triangle, almost like a flux capacitor shape of rocks that looks like it would provide some break in line of sight over the desert, dunes. And she just looks at you, and she looks kind of something's upsetting her, and she says, "I wonder if your crew could meet us there for the payout and the unloading."
course. And this is a hollow conversation, correct?
Yes, this is a hollow conversation.
Okay. So I'm gonna look at her, deaden her hollow eyes. Be like, we'll meet you there, and we'll be incredibly discreet. At the cost is you will have to miss out on my amazing flying, but I mean that's your own fault. But you and I are going to have a conversation when I land, and you are going to be very clear with me when I land. You understand?
Oh, yes, excellent. What do you assume the ETA will be? I'll make sure to get out there so we're there before you, so we can help signal you with some of our signal lights.
You guys and these fucking signal lights. I don't know. What's my GPS say?
GPS says you can
I'm in.
totally be there in like 3 hours.
Looks like we'll be there in 4 hours.
Oh, excellent. We'll be there a little before, and we'll have some landing beacons, so that way you can find our spot much easier. And we'll have 3 vehicles that the cargo can be loaded up into.
All right, sounds good. We will see you in about 4 hours.
As she turns over to the side, and you see her bark some orders out of get the vehicles ready. We need to be there in less than 4 hours, and I need the vehicles there discreetly. Don't leave through the same side of town with each of the vehicles. As you hear this gruff, Twilight accented voice saying, "You got it, boss."
I'm going to let her hang up, and I'm going to stay on the line as long as possible.
Okay, and then she turns around at the button and realizes the comm is still open. Then she just hits the power button, and she winks out.
So, Castock, do we have ourselves a greedy mayor, or do we have a mayor who has someone else that's being greedy, and she has to be playing dirty herself?
Seems like she's probably selling this water to someone else besides her people. So if she's giving us 5 times the cost, I think she's getting more from someone else.
You don't think that so you think she's being greedy, that she's not being blackmailed herself?
Don't think so, but we can find out.
Well, because depending on what we're assuming we're walking into is how I'm going to handle this.
Well, take your pick. Which one do you want to go with? I didn't get a clue from her one way or another. So
All I got is she wants us to be discreet. She doesn't want her townsfolk to know that we're coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I lied about our ETA in hopes of finding out something.
So her not wanting her town folks to know makes me think that the town folks aren't getting the water.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Luckily, we have water that we can sell to the townsfolk at reasonable cost.
200% is completely reasonable.
You and I are going to talk about that God you go pray to. I think that he's making you a little greedy there, dude.
Hey, I've seen the way. My rules the galaxy.
The way is the great holocron in the sky.
Yep. I've seen the power of the credit.
Oh my god.
The almighty credit. Praise to it.
Praise be to money.
Praise be to credits.
Praise be to the credit.
God. Well, if she legit is not giving this water to her people, we need to take out all of our anger at her and not take advantage of the poor fucking settlers, yeah?
Yep.
A real yep, not I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want anyway.
To be decided, but so far I'll say yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be there in about 3 hours, and they're expecting us in 4. So hopefully we can find out something interesting when we get there.
Okay, so you're heading that way. You see the beautiful dust ball that is Tatooine as you get close. You see there's a couple large hut freighters out there in orbit because, of course, this is at this point in history part of the Hutt Empire. As their big, giant pleasure barge looking spaceships float around on the North Pole and the South Pole, which also look big and sandy and dusty with no ocean. As you get this automated Huttese message going, ho ho ho, welcome to the clan Hojak. Enjoy the warm sandy beaches of Tatooine. Now with 50% less ocean. Ho 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 ho.
Oh man.
Please beware the desert dwellers. The short ones will pick your ship clean. The tall ones will shoot you for looking at them twice. Ho 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 ho.
That sounds like a nice vacation spot.
Just about to say, we always go in the nicest places together.
Yep.
But you know what? How about we visit a prison next?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Well, we kind of already did one of those on the spot where the people weren't able to leave. But
It was more of a work camp, but I get your feels.
Oh man. We've gone to work camps. We've gone to casinos filled with shysters. Now we're at an ocean planet without the ocean. Exciting. Do you need to go pray to your wallet before we land and get some insight for us?
Sure, I can go spend some time count the credits I have. See what it shows me.
Sounds good.
So I'll use 4C.
Okay, go ahead and roll your force dice. Holy shnikey.
No, because I used bad points, so I only got one.
I just mean the holy shnikey, the force ranking 4.
Yep. Oh, I had 4 for a while. I just bought Nutrice, and now I'm trying to get 5.
That doesn't look like you learned a lot from your praying.
No, apparently the credits are being greedy.
Yeah.
Well,
Your praying was much more effective before you went emo.
Well, maybe I'll try to work on being a nice person again. Except for to do that, I have to quit using my force. I have to quit using. Well, I have to only use light side points and take a bunch of strain, so I don't gain conflict and get back up to 70. So, it'll be a long time to get there.
You got to make sure you're not doing too much good stuff.
Well, I don't use any of my force shit ever. Does that mean I'm like the nicest person ever? Because that doesn't track.
Well, you haven't done anything evil with the force, or butchered people, or tripped old ladies trying to cross the road, or thrown small children into traffic.
That you know of.
If it happens off screen, it never happened.
So that's called backstory.
Yeah. So as you are flying over the planet, because you're obviously taking your time since you have an hour head start, right?
No, we are. I gave them an extra hour, so we could be sneaky, not so I could be leisurely.
Okay.
Because I don't trust.
So as you're getting into orbit, what is the plan?
The plan is to indeed be sneaky, and to head towards the area where she said to meet, but like avoiding the town, but kind of flying and trying to see if there's anything else that can be seen from the safety of my ship.
Okay, I mean you totally have scanners that you can use, on the town as you fly over it, just high enough to not be obvious, as they say, short distance for a spaceship, but a hell of a long distance for somebody on foot.
Well, because I don't want to be so low that they go, oh, there's someone here, because that defeats the purpose of being discreet.
Okay, I'll add a black dice to your sensors to make sure that you're going to be unnoticed scanning this little homestead that's out there.
Okay.
If you want to use the computers. Looking out the window, you see a tiny speck of a settlement. It looks to be about 9 buildings. Most of them are set up out of the typical colonial Duracrete Instant type of buildings. So they have that very round adobe shape and texture to them because they're Insta Duracrete that's been poured out and molded. And they do seem very new building wise. They've been put up in the last year or two.
Yes,
And
it's my eyeballs.
And your eyeballs is telling you that you see a few, maybe like a moisture farmer or two at the outskirts of town, but not like as many as you would expect to be needed for a place like Tatooine.
Okay.
If you
So
want
then I
to
guess I'll
roll a perception, I can give you a little bit more, maybe if you're successful.
Yeah.
Okay.
With just your eyeballs from a mile and a half in the sky.
I mean, I was gonna say after my eyeballs, I don't mind using the computers. I'm not David. I'm not anti-technology.
Okay, well go ahead and give me a perception check first.
Okay.
Hi. Oh, what? Oh.
Nice. As immediately your co-pilot Castox looks out the window and he's staring, and you definitely realize that with looking through the window, it looks like 2 or 3 buildings that you don't see look more like someone blew up the buildings, and they kind of like push the rubble around to make it look like it wasn't a building that was exploded with some heavy ordnance.
So apparently somebody attacked them, or somebody possibly blew up their water supply.
And they tried to cover it up, but from your vantage point high in the sky and your keen eyes, you totally picked out the 3 buildings, and it looks like 1 moisture farm that looks like it was destroyed because you see the moisture farming tower on its side with sand piled up around it, so it looks like a very obvious obelisk on its side to your keen eyes that you pick out that there was a moisture farmer on this planet that they blew the hell out of the building, destroying the building and all of the equipment around it.
Okay.
Nice. So, new theory is bully? Are we thinking bully?
Yeah. I mean, it could be that somebody's attacking them, so now they're willing to pay exorbitant prices, and the person might still be close, so they want to meet outside of town.
That is what it sounds like. Yeah, these days, I'd like someone to want to pay us top dollar to deliver a pair of shoes. No catch, just not wanting to go buy them themselves.
You're looking for an Alderaan princess wanting to get a pair of glass stilettos. The only requirement is you're there by midnight.
I mean, I was thinking more like a cloud princess wanting a new pair of shoes, and she doesn't want her daddy to catch her, sort of thing. And the big bad would be, daddy coming home from his business trip early and getting mad at his daughter for spending money on credits she shouldn't, but then still loving her and it being okay, and we getting paid and getting the out of there.
And then the funny wrap-up ending is he happens to have bought her the exact same shoes.
Yes. Sitcom fluff filler episode.
Enter laugh track here. Now you've got 2
Yes.
pairs of shoes. Ah.
Daddy. Ah. You're welcome. You're welcome for that.
These things write themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're gaming with
Really
Megan, they do. So I do have the dice pool ready for the computer scan if someone wants to do that. Unless
Why did I-
someone's going to use a light side point.
How do we computer scan?
You would
'Cause
just
usually I just
use
have
the computer skill, and the ship has sensors that you could use.
Okay, then I am assuming I am better at computers than you, Castox.
Probably even.
I have a career check mark next to mine.
I have 2 greens. So
2 greens is better than a green and a yellow, though, right?
green and
Nope.
yellow is better than 2 greens.
Remember,
Oh,
yellows are
okay,
always
well,
the best.
You're better.
Okay. Then you said the dice pool is ready?
Yep, the dice pool is ready.
No point. Explodey.
3 successes and 3 threats. So, for the 3 threats, I'm going to let you know that you were a little heavy-handed on the scanner, so you just kept holding the scan button down, so it's going bing, 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 bing. So if anyone happens to have any high-powered scanners, they know for a fact they've just been scanned.
Scanning makes friends.
It's how you say
Right.
hello where you're from. And with the 3 successes, I will gladly tell you that when you scan the rocky outcropping and the town's got about 200 life forms, which is actually pretty good for the size of the buildings and all there. So there must be 1 or 2 buildings really crowded full of people right now. You detect that they've got about 20 to 25 vehicles in town. And you're not picking up any like central water supply system if that's something you were interested in with your 3 success.
Yeah, I am confused at how they maintain having water if they don't have a central water system.
That's a good civil engineer question right there.
Yeah. And my
And
computers, they don't have that.
they don't have that. They are barely making it by with less than average moisture farmers in the area.
Interesting. And
And
how long has this been a thing? Like, I know it's a newer development. How new is this development?
the settlement from when you ping it with your computer system and you get the response on the registry and the compound down there, it's only been in existence for about 2.5 years as a claim. It's been occupied for about a year and a half.
Okay. Do the scans show? Oh, go for it.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do the scans show where maybe the water infrastructure should be, like the water system should exist, or is that one of the blown up buildings?
I will definitely give you that that's one of the blown up buildings. You totally detect where it should be, and it's the building that's mostly a crater at this point.
Okay, so they are undergoing sabotage, it sounds like.
And with your 3 successes, I'll even include that rocky outcropping where they want to meet you. You don't see any life signs out there with the exception of small animals. Probably
Okay.
womp rats.
I don't believe they exist.
Womp rats of unusual size. Next thing you're gonna
Oh,
tell
my
me
God.
the lightning sand is real.
Oh.
And this is from the
Okay.
city's perspective. You're a small ship making a contrail in the atmosphere.
Okay. How are we on time for them expecting us?
You are still like a half hour before your ETA, and an hour and a half before their E ETA.
Okay. Do we feel Castox like maybe we don some desert apparel and go for a little walkie walk? What do you think? Or should we stay put?
For time wise, we probably wouldn't have enough to park the ship somewhere out of view and then make it to town and then make it back.
Oh, I was thinking we would walk to town after we park our vehicle where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's probably I don't know if you said the distance, but that'd probably be quite a walk if we're
It's
going to be out of sight.
it's like a good half to 3/4 of a mile around rocky outcroppings.
Okay. Sure.
If you
We can give it
go
a try.
around the rocks, so you're just walking on soft, easy sand, it's about 2 miles.
Okay.
Are we
We should
in shape?
have enough time.
Yeah, we should be able to. If we park where we're supposed to meet, I feel like we could walk to town. Worst case scenario, we hitch a ride back to where we're supposed to be. Or, I mean, hell, we just show up late because our ship's there, and what are they going to do? Yell at us? We're bringing them water.
I'm trying to remember. Did we ever end up with a speeder from any of our things? Or a speeder in our ship to travel so we don't have to walk everywhere? If not, we should probably put that on the
believe you
list.
actually took one. You had a bunch of opportunities I gave, but I don't think you actually nibbled on that hook and took one with you.
Dangling that at us.
All right, well, you should put that on the list.
I mean, you're my shopper at this point.
I mean, procure swoop bikes. Note to self: find swoop gang, procure swoop bikes.
Especially if they're Vespas. Those are some. I hear those are sweet.
Sweet Vespas.
Sweet Vespas. Yep.
In classic 50s style.
Nothing cooler than the 50s Vespas in a low speed chase through town.
Word.
Duh. And it needs to have a sweet basket on the front.
Don't forget the rear view mirrors.
Your old book of Boba Fett. Okay. Well, let's park the ship and head in town.
So, since you're looking to park the ship and get to town, is your main goal to get the ship there quick to have more time to get there and back, or park the ship in a way that is hidden from sight and view, so you're definitely not noticed?
I'm just my word and be discreet in all the ways.
Okay, that's gonna be a little more difficult. So I figured I just want to ask that. Okay.
Pilot.
And this is where again I'll say you've got 3 light side points if you want to use one before you roll.
What do you think? I've never actually used one. What do you think? Everyone uses it without asking me. So sure, what the fuck not? Let's use it.
So you'll want to click the little button there. There you go. We've brought balance to the force. Go ahead and make your piloting check. As you're doing this quick, engaging the engines, and you're determined to get there fast, as you rev the engines and bank across the horizon and turn down and hug the ground so that way the village can't see you coming with the rocky outcropping in the way. And you believe you are completely unnoticed by anyone.
I don't believe things, because that means it's
What's
a
up?
lie.
Good ending.
And you're aiming for the coordinates they gave you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you park the ship. It's this beautiful little rocky outcropping where there's rocks that hang a little over, so it gives you protection from the sky in case somebody flies over. So you're barely noticeable. Like you got this beautiful like 3/4 cover that there's only like a little pizza pie slice shape of your ship exposed. And there's only one way in this canyon and one way out by foot unless you want to climb precariously perched rocks.
I mean, I do enjoy a good challenge, but
Okay.
I also like the advantage.
As immediately you're just like, whew, it's hot here in Tatooine. Good thing it's a dry heat. So you guys are gonna get some desert appropriate clothing on and try to jog to town.
Yeah.
As long as we have enough time to make it there and back.
If you guys are very successful in a athletics or coordination check, and you don't fail your resilience check, you should have no problem getting there and back before the hour and a half is up.
Well, I'm not good at any of those skills, so.
Wait, well, let me ask you this: there and back with time to be nosy, or there and back and we got our cardio in?
There and back, and you might have like 20 minutes to be nosy.
I think it's too small of a window.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can
that's
always.
not-
I'm assuming you'll be able to find the vehicles they're coming here to meet you with, and you could sneak on board those, I'm sure.
I don't know that sneaking onto a vehicle to get to your secret meeting when you're running late to your secret meeting is really the best call of action.
I'm all about giving you options. I'm not about limiting your options.
Yeah, I think we just hang out here.
Yeah, let's check out our cargo and make sure we didn't fuck that up, huh?
Blame the mechanic.
That's exactly why I think we should check on it, because he's not here to have done it the entire time we were fucking around.
So one of you guys go ahead and give me a mechanics check, and if one wants to help the other, that'll totally give you a blue dice if you want.
I'll help you. I'm not skilled at it.
Okay. Apparently, mechanics is one of my careers. Weird that I'm a pilot that knows how to be a mechanic.
Well, you have that 20-page character sheet. You've got a bunch of careers.
Almost like I was hiding out from someone.
You kept going back to trade school to learn another trade and stay hidden for a couple more years.
Right? Oh, fuck, what did I do? My computer hates
kept pushing down her student loans.
Oh, no. I have no loans. I paid for my education in ways where I have no debt.
Where you going with that?
Maybe I was born maybe I have rich parents.
There you go.
Cheeseball. Jeez. Not everything I say is horny. Jesus. Just most of the things.
Okay, so you give it a good hearty mechanics check, and you are 100% sure the cargo containers are A-okay. They are absolutely fine. You've got, plenty of power still in them. They should be good for like another 24 hours before anyone would have to worry about it.
Nice. That's really good for us.
In fact, if you want for those 3 advantage, you can tweak the settings and make it even more efficient, giving you 36 hours of time.
Sure, that'll be good for our extra water so we can find a new home for it.
Take your water containers and put them right next to the big frozen ones so they chill them nicely.
Yeah. Oh, well, here's my question. Since if we return the containers, we get like a recycling uh phone time. Uh, do they have their own containers?
They might.
Like, how does that work? How does this recycling program work?
I mean, the Zabrak lady would just like your Zabrak friend to come back so she can have booty time again. So that's why she threw the offer out there. But if you want people to, you put up a sign and say water, uh, so many credits a gallon, bring your own container, and it'll look like any refugee camp in any third world country where they come with any kind of containers they can to fill up.
Oh, so it's like 7-Eleven Day, but with water?
There you go.
Well, okay, so we know she had a mediocre time. Castox, did you have a good time? Do you want to go back?
Yeah, it was worth the trip. As long as it's not far out of the way.
Worth the recycling trip? Okay. And does she want just the big? Does she want the big ones back or just the little ones?
Just the little ones. The big ones are part of the canisters are part of the delivery for those.
Okay.
So let's take a quick 5-minute break as you guys are plotting and planning, because I got to step away for just a sec. And we'll be right back in like 5 minutes. How about that?
Sounds good.
I don't know that I'm going anywhere. I'm just working on my parasol that I've been working on for a bazillion hours.
You tried doing Google Foo?
That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I would Google Foo that one because I still have to look up what commands to hit when my cat jumps on the backup laptop and changes its settings all the time. Apparently, if you hit Alt, Windows, and the up arrow, it will reorient your desktop to the proper up and down way. But if you turn your monitor sideways as a second or third monitor, if you hit the left or right arrows, it will turn it sideways.
Oh.
Windows, Control, and right arrow.
Did you know on the Mac, you can't do Control V, Control C, Control whatever. You have to do Command?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad that you did that.
That's very demanding of those Mac people.
Yep.
Yes. I thought I was broken for a minute or a few months because I was like, oh, apparently I can't control anything like on my computer. It's broken. Or I'm broken.
So you can't control it. You got to command it. You got to be more stern with the Apple.
Apparently. I thought the whole point of Apple was it was supposed to be made for dumb people like me who don't know how to do technology.
It's supposed to be user-friendly. That's supposed to be its shtick. All I know is my wireless keyboard that has a Windows and a Mac setting. When I try to Control Alt Delete and it doesn't work, I need to hit the Windows button because I've hit the Mac button by accident.
So the weird the weird button on my keyboard is it has a change color button. So when I hit the wrong key, my keyboard will change colors. I'm like, oh, that's different. So.
See, I try to keep mine on just white light. It's the easiest.
It's a function that I don't need on the keyboard, but whenever you buy one off Amazon, the ones with lights are for some reason $10 cheaper than the ones without lights. So
I know, it's weird.
I'm like, I guess I'll have lights.
You know, I bought one of those Royal Sludge keyboards that like sounded like a keyboard a couple years ago, and it was supposed to be able to change through a bunch of different colors, and it never changed colors. It was only blue blacklit, which was probably the color I wanted it to be anyways. But it was really annoying that it was like supposed to be able to change colors, and it never did.
Probably has some secret command that only with the owner's manual will you know what it is.
Like, I didn't read the owner's manual when I got it. Have you met me? The only way I know what rules I can break is by knowing exactly what the rules are.
And then if you know what they are, you're going to break them just because.
That's exactly what I just said. I have to know what the rules are so I know how I can break them. Maybe that's why people think that I'm just a weird, flippant person, because I do have zero regard for rules.
Or you're brilliant that way. I was going to say, have you ever met Kelly? She has to follow the rules. It's in her alignment chart.
I'm just straight chaotic. Chaotic neutral. In all ways.
Cool. So back to our delivery.
So back to the delivery. You're sitting there. You've got an hour and a half head start. You guys poo-pooed the idea of running into town in this heat because when you open the door, you realize, God damn, this planet's hot. It's 110 degrees in the shade. 2 suns. Who does this?
Bad design.
It's almost like it sounds like they live in like Tatooine is Arizona.
Say, who would pick to live here?
Who would live here? This is an affront to nature.
It's what happens when you use Zill and it's the cheapest property out there. You didn't read the details. So what is your guys' plan since you got a head start?
Well,
I think we're just staying at the ship until they arrive because we didn't have enough time to go to town.
And I think that I still think there's shadiness going on, but I am leaning towards them being victims of shadiness, not perpetrators of shadiness. So depending on how the person responds, I am more willing to help them take care of business.
Okay.
I'm feeling feisty. Someone needs to get yelled at with my.
Okay, so in about 45 minutes, you guys are looking out your cockpit window and you see some dust clouds coming up on the horizon pretty fast. I mean, they only got half a mile to drive, so it's not going to be bad at all. As they start coming closer, all of a sudden you notice there's a squawk on the channel you were given to talk to the mayor, and you hear her voice again saying, cargo vessel Starburn, have you arrived early?
Just landed. How can I help you?
Oh, excellent. We're pulling up on the location now, and we saw a ship there, and we were getting concerned if it wasn't yours.
Nope, it's me. You can see me waving from the window.
Who else might it be?
What the fuck was that?
Excellent.
I said, who's else? What other ship might you expect to be here?
That was our concern. We didn't realize anyone was parked out here yet, so we wanted to make sure that it was your ship. Because if it wasn't your ship, we would definitely want to give you a different location so we didn't have anyone in the neighborhood.
Well, as my good buddy here just asked, if it isn't us, who would it be?
Well, we are out in Hut Space, and Tatooine here is a very busy location, so you never know who might just show up in this part of space.
I just summon villainy.
Do me a favor. If are either of you suspicious?
120%.
Go ahead and give me a vigilance check as kind of like an insight from D&D.
I can do that. That is a full set.
The pool is set.
Okay.
So you definitely with your one success and 4 advantages. You get the idea that she is nervous as a long-tail Minoc in a room full of rocking chairs. Especially when she thought there was a different ship there than you guys. There was some peaking to her inflection in her voice that she was almost borderline scared.
So the Hutts out here, they friendly bunch?
The Hutts are fairly, dominating and controlling the areas that they claim as their own. Thankfully, our settlement is just outside of most Gorton, so we're not technically under any Hut's jurisdiction out here. It's a open and legal homestead claim.
So then whose jurisdiction do you fall under?
Well, we are technically under the jurisdiction of our settlement. We actually did the legal paperwork to make sure that it's all on the up and up. And the town of Dusthaven is an actual acknowledged independent settlement on Tatooine.
Well, doll, if I can call you doll, we all know that there's a difference between what the paper says and what the world says. And I think you know that I'm asking you about what the world says, not what the paper says.
Okay, so do me a favor. It sounds like you're being very coercing versus charming. Go ahead and give me a coercion roll.
I mean, I was trying to be cagey.
I mean, do you want to do a deception then? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I was more trying to speak as if other people were listening. I also wouldn't mind saying something along the lines of, this is a conversation we can continue in person if you prefer.
Okay. Do me a favor and give me a deception or a coercion roll, dog. I want to see just how much he's willing to throw out with you over a radio. I mean, it is a
Okay,
private channel, so it should be safe.
Unless she has spies in her ranks.
As the
Is the
GM
dice pool
starts scribbling, the dice pool is ready. As the GM starts scribbling down spies in her midst.
making the story more interesting because I'm paranoid.
Okay, so as you say that, she just kind of gives a sigh as she says, "Look, I understand the crew of your ship are very very knowledgeable of the galaxy in general, and you know that this is Hut space technically, so whatever the Huts do, they're beyond the touch of the law. But we out here have learned on Tatooine to just avoid the Huts whenever we can." I'll be honest with you. We're having some issues, but it's with some of the subordinates of the Huts, not the actual Huts themselves.
Well, subordinates have the permission to behave as their masters allow.
And she gives out a big long sigh of agreement.
Well, I'm gonna hang up on you because I can see you pulling up, and it seems silly to stay on the phone with you when we can shake hands in person.
And she totally agrees and starts to talk as you click. And these three rather large, they're pretty much about the size of like modern day do's and halves. It's very big utilitarian trucks come pulling up. They're the hover style, so they're kicking up lots of dust. As they come up and they kind of like sprawl, one pulls up right next to your ship, two come out and kind of fan themselves out, so it's in kind of a triangle shape.
Hey,
As
Castox. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, finish your description.
As clearly the first person to jump out of the driver's seat and hit the ground, when the dust clears, you clearly see this woman with a very strong chin, very determined look on her face, very sensible, tied up, ponytail up into almost a top knot. And she has a very large and serviceable heavy blaster pistol on her hip.
Hey, Castox, do we want to play with some Hut minions? You game, or should we stay out of it?
And from your previous talk, I think we just want to help the locals, but just with supplies versus dealing with the Huts. But I'll leave it up to you.
Sure that they have supplies, but I mean, if it's not directly with the Huts, like she said, we can overpower some stupid minions that are too big for their britches.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time we had some actual excitement that wasn't just boringness? When was the last time we got in an actual fight?
Back when we had like 5 people and a couple of them had heavy weapons in the bar.
Fight.
Sure.
That's not even a fight. Come on. And that was forever ago.
Yep.
I
Sure.
think not like it was last time. I feel like a nice little minion training would be good for the Jedi mind trick exercising, or should we call it Sith mind trick exercising nowadays? You know, we'll stretch our legs a little bit to keep ourselves in a good form.
Sure.
Yay! And of course we help, because what's the point of helping these people out if as soon as we leave they're going to keep getting trampled on?
Well, the only concern is then if messing with the minions upsets the boss, then that may get us marked. But
Yeah, but that's okay. Starburn got a couple different legal papers. We'll be fine.
sounds good.
Okie dokie. Let's go meet our new friend.
Okay.
So you guys
We'll have to go
getting
meet.
off in the small door, or are you opening the cargo hole up so they can see the water containers?
We'll start with the small doors.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the idea of small doors and then making a dramatic entrance a little bit, or dramatic dun dun dun.
Okay, so you come out and she's she dusts herself off. She's wearing very nice looking clothes, but they actually she's been working in these. You can see like the wearer of regular working folks clothes. As she kind of cups her hands over her eyes from the bright Tatooine sun. Then one of her guys reaches into the truck and hands her her cap, and she puts the cap on to keep the sunlight out of her eyes. And she steps forward and gives you a nice, super friendly politician smile and says, "You must be Aurora. I'm Ral Oaten, mayor of Dusthaven back there. And that name is no lie."
Well, that's an interesting town slogan right there. So I'm gonna slap her out, like put out my hand in like that casual, like that big swoop, not like that stiff, but like a big swoop, and I'm gonna grab it and then like give her a nice, good, firm handshake.
The put her there, pal.
But also not in a like it looks casual, but it feels like a handshake should.
Mm-hmm.
So she can tell that I'm not dumbass, basically.
Demure.
Because yeah, demure. No one thinks I'm demure. And then I'm gonna tilt my head back and be like, "That's Castock. He is my trusted crewmate here, my trusted advisor, and we are here to discuss your needs."
Oh, excellent. So, we're here to pick up the 3 cargo containers, and she almost says the word ice containers, but then she chokes herself back and says cargo containers. As you totally notice, like the 5 other folks here that are here to help start doing awkward gestures when she's choking back her words. Obviously, you're getting the idea she either rolled really poorly or she's just bad at lying, which is probably a good thing in a mayor. Definitely a good thing in a politician.
To be bad at lying. Well, not if she's going to protect her people. So I noticed in our travels that you don't seem to have a water facility. How does that work here in your desert land?
Oh, and like one of the guys gives the cough cough gesture, and she kind of like rubs the back of her bare neck that's cooking in the sun because Obviously, she just started sweating when you asked that question. As she says, unfortunately, when our colony group set out here to Tatooine, we weren't 100% sure in the geopolitical environment here. And we had a well equipped, as the canyon has a weird echo that I'm hearing, a well equipped moisture farm setup, but unfortunately, some of the local troublemakers, not the actual desert dwellers that are out here. As she kind of nervously looks around the rocks to make sure there's no what in the future will be called Tusken Raiders living, sneaking up on you all. But some of the local board, let's just say bandit type folks, took offense to our community being set up here. And they were pretty severe in the way that they spoke out about their displeasure of having us here. And unfortunately now we're beholden to their employer, one of the resident huts here on Tatooine, to be the only supplier of water for us.
What hut person is in charge of your water supply?
That would be Hut Garuda. He's in charge of Mos Gunta. It's about 200 miles down that direction. It's the nearest full-on settlement, but he pretty much owns every moisture farm between us and there.
Okay.
Apparently, it's something of a market he has cornered.
And is that a hut name that I am familiar with?
Ooh. Go ahead and give me an average underworld check.
A what?
Knowledge underworld.
Okay.
As you totally scratch your head when she says the hut's name one more time, and you're just like, sounds like a hut name.
Does he look like a hut, or does he look like a humanoid?
Probably smells like a hut too.
I mean, they all smell like a hut, even if they're humanoids.
And she just kind of looks at you, and she's just like, I'm not exactly sure if this is at the behest of their hut overlord, or if his underdomos are just trying to get markup on some desperate people. But they even as the seasons get drier, they're trying to squeeze us for more and more credits.
And what's your long-term solution for this?
Well, we've contracted with some equipment suppliers to bring out some moisture farm equipment, but unfortunately they won't be able to get here for the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay, and so then you're going to have these moisture farm kits delivered and then let them be destroyed again?
Ooh. You say that, and the second you say that, one of the old timey guys that was driving one of the other trucks takes his hat and slaps his knee with it and says, Mayor, I told you so. I told you. Anyone with their sense would know that as soon as we put up some more stuff there, they're just going to kick it in the teeth and we're going to be back to square one.
Well,
What's your long-term solution, Mayor? And she just sighs and looks at you and rubs her temples.
I might be cooking a solution. maybe.
Do you say that, or do you just think that very hardly?
I look at her and raise my eyebrow with a half smirk and leave the ball in her court to say something, since it is her constituent that is angry right now, not my constituent.
As she sighs and says, Herbert, shush. We're here to get the frozen water containers. And she, the second she says the word, you see her wince that she said the word out loud, and get back to the storage unit to hide them before anyone notices.
So you do know how to be sneaky. How far away is this from your town? About half a mile?
And she says, yes, going around the pass there, it's about a half a mile to get to our town.
And did you notice how the ship is mostly covered and hidden? No?
That's
Okay.
that's exactly right. We didn't notice your ship until we're practically right on top of you.
And did you maybe think about maybe doing something similar with your new water farming equipment?
And she just goes back to rubbing her temples again. As she kind of, bows her head towards you and says it more to herself and her frustrated teammates than to anyone in general, that yes, we are wise enough to know that we need to hide this water from our benevolent hut overlords. And you can hear the eye roll under her hat cap. We have an empty spice mine just before we get to town that we were going to hide the containers in.
Oh, no. I'm not I mean, I'm glad that you have a short-term plan for the water that we have here for you. I'm more talking about your water mining equipment when it arrives, about how it should never be known to the huts that you've rebuilt it.
And when you say that, she lifts her hat up just enough that one keen eye is looking right at you like, I get what you're saying, sister. And then she just gives a smile and she says, so you're saying when we get that order, we should make sure to hire someone competent that can get here earlier than expected. Is that what you're saying? And her
Yes,
eyes,
and not
I,
announce their presence. And
so her,
maybe have it be a place where it's naked to the human eye, and even when you're farming, it still stays mostly naked to the hidden eye, like it doesn't even exist.
well, unfortunately, none of our moisture farmers here at the settlement have that kind of skill.
They don't know how to be sneaky.
Are you saying that you have a way to conceal moisture farming towers?
I mean, it's all about location, location, location.
As she gestures to your cargo container and says, "How about we let the gentleman here start loading the containers, and you and I discuss more of this in private."
Sounds good to me. Castox, do you want to babysit or do you want to plot?
I can babysit.
As one of the locals gives Castox the up and down, it's like, it'd go a whole lot faster if somebody would help.
He's tired. He did a lot of cardio earlier. You have to be kind to my old friend.
Okay, so the mayor's gonna take you aside to a little rocky outcropping to talk further. And as they're using basically block and tackle to move these giant freaking containers that are frozen solid, which is ridiculous labor. Cassox, are you on kind of lookout duty?
Yeah.
Okay, do me a favor and give me a perception or vigilance. I'll let you pick.
Okay. Vigilance. Pool ready?
Nope. The pool is ready.
4 success, 2 threat.
Okay. So you gonna do anything with those dark side points?
I don't get to use them.
Okay. So for the 4 successes, you keenly sense and feel that there is someone coming on a vehicle down the same path these trucks took. They're going a little slower than the trucks did when they got here, but they're definitely coming in this direction like they're following the path the 3 vehicles left in the sand. Which, as you look behind the vehicles, you clearly see these 3 hover vehicles left a trench from when they left town.
Okay. Honestly, guys, are you guys expecting other people to help with this load? Sounds like other people are coming.
And the second you say that, the group all let go of the block and tackle chains that they were using to move the stuff, and everybody's like, "Oh crap! They must have seen us leave town!" And they go running to the cabs of their trucks.
I'll call the Aura. Hey, we have company coming.
And let's party.
And immediately when you say that, the mayor says, "Oh God, I hope it's not him."
And then I look at her and wink, and I say, "Oh God, I hope it is."
And she just, looks at you, and she goes running past her people to get past the trucks to like stand out there and put her chest out, all Superwoman style. As she bravely says, "Which direction are they coming from?" As she yells to you, Castox.
I'll let her know which way.
Okay.
They're taking the same path you did.
Ah, Ferric, they followed us from town, I think. And she goes running out there and she unsnaps the cover on her holster, but she doesn't unholster her weapon, and she stands out there with her hands on the hips. As you guys hear in the canyon walls the echoing of a hover lift. As all of a sudden a skiff comes into view, coming around the corner there, coming the same direction the trucks did. It's one of those open skiffs like we see in Return of the Jedi, where they had, the plank and everyone was going to jump off the plank into the Sarlacc pit.
Mhm.
Very Hutt architecture, very, very distinctly Hutt. And you see on top there is a Twi'lek whose Leku are flapping in the wind, wearing lightly armored clothing suitable for the desert, so very light tan and browns, and 4 Gamorrean guards, mostly barely covered in little thin leather outfits and kilts with crude vibro axes. And he comes and pretty much stops the brakes, coming to a stop not too far from her and lowering the skiff completely to the ground.
What's
As
the mayor's name?
the mayor's name,
Yes.
it is Mayor Ral, that's Ral, Oten, Oten.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the mayor, she totally wrinkles her nose, and as soon as the Twi'lek realizes Ral is making that face, and it's Ral because the dust goes past her from when they stopped the skiff, he reaches into his shirt that's slightly open, showing a little rough and tumble Twi'lek manly chest, and pulls out a frilled handkerchief that's slightly tannish, slightly white, has a little ombre gradation of color, and he waves it in the air and says, "I wish to parley. Parley, Madam Mayor. What are you doing outside of town?"
Oh, this is our date. Why did you invite a friend?
Oh, lovely. You're meeting friends out here outside of town. How odd. I wanted to make sure everything was okay. We know how these desert nomads treat strangers out in the deserts. I brought some of my personal bodyguards to keep me safe. And the mayor looks back at you and she kind of gives like a two finger over her shoulder gesture. You kind of think it's a don't do anything yet meets be cool at the same time. She looks back with you with one eye and gives you a slight nod. And the Twi'lek steps off the barge as his Gamorreans, spread out, and they kind of like each one heads towards one of the trucks and one stays next to him as they get close, but they don't get invasive. But all the drivers that ran to their trucks, you totally see from your guys' point of view, they've got weapons lifted up, but they're not pulling them out of the cars yet. But the windows clearly you see rifles with these guys' possession.
See, Odie and I had a date, but because of her social position and me just being a rough and tumble pilot, we decided to meet out here on our own with some bodyguards. And I was not expecting anyone to come check up on us. That's kind of the whole point of a secret rendezvous. Right there, right, Odie?
And she just looks at you and just nods and smiles and says, That's right." And the Twi'lek totally gives you the slinky eyes and says, "Oh, wonderful. I was worried that my friend the mayor here was in danger. I'm sure your friend has told you all about me. I am Under Domo Sash Orgetu. I
So,
work some of the markets in this area. I'm all about profits. And do me a favor.
mhm.
Give me your deception roll."
I would like to give myself one of the light side thingamajiggies.
Okay, click away. And I'll even click once and give one back to you. How about that?
Oh, thanks.
I got your upgrade in there. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give you a blue as well because the mayor's back in your story. In as few words as she can so she does not ruin it for you.
And I can tell, and she's not even grimacing when I call her Oti.
Yeah. That's how desperate the situation is. As the Twi'lek looks and says, "Interesting. I didn't know you had a mistress on top of your husband, Madam Mayor. How scandalous." And he puts the handkerchief to his mouth, hiding his smile, as he squints and looks right at you with cold, dead desert dweller eyes.
What part of secret rendezvous is not clear about me being her space bunny?
A space bunny, how interesting. I had a space bunny once, but once I forgot to put her in her cage, she got away.
See, this bunny is wild and does not. My cage is my home, and I fly around. And Odie and I have a very, very special arrangement. And she is happily married, and I am happily married to my ship. So we do not get a lot of time together. And it does seem very disappointing to me that I am losing precious time with my OT with a man present.
As he just smiles and looks at the three trucks and the drivers kind of half in their vehicle and half out of their vehicle and says, "I'm sorry that I am the one that distracted you from your romantic interlude with these very smelly trucker types watching as well. Obviously, that must be very distracting." And
There I said, there's security, and we just got here. I haven't even been here 10 minutes, and my date has been interrupted.
I apologize so much. And he goes over to check out one of the trucks, waving his little handkerchief and doing something as he looks at one of the trucks. And he points kind of absently to the giant frozen water container that's half unloaded on the ship and says, "May I inquire if that that cargo container that's giving off very nauseous cold fumes, it looks like, is available for sale? I would be interested in procuring that to allow you to get back to your date."
So that is not for sale. That is part of my fun times I have planned. It won't actually be there won't be anything left after our date, if you know what I mean.
Interesting. It wouldn't be full of some kind of water, would it be?
Not for drinking. I was at a casino planet recently and I learned about a new pleasure technique. And was brought for, like I said, for an experience, not for drinking. It is not, no.
Oh my, I was unaware that Cantina in Dusthaven had the abilities to have a Mon Calamari water pleasure palace built into it.
Oh, no, 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 no. This is just for me and her. This is me and my Odie. This is a special comes with me, goes with me.
And now that you've said it this many times, the mayor looks and kind of grimaces when you say Odie. Um, so Aurora or Castox, one of you give me a perception or a vigilance.
Okay. Do vigilance. Two failure, one advantage.
So what was your total?
2 failures, 1 advantage.
Okay. So anything particularly you'd like about your advantage other than you're noticing that the Grimorians are spreading out so that one will take on like each driver and one is going to protect their boss.
You already told us. That was pretty obvious.
I mean, his handkerchief is very distracting. You were busy looking at the handkerchief saying, "I wish I had a handkerchief that clean on this dirty planet."
I'll just keep it. I'll take the advantage. Just keep an extra eye on the main guy.
Okay. So, Aurora, why don't you give me a vigilance check as well? As he's waving that hanky around quite distractingly. As you get 1 success, look at that. So, as you
really well prepared.
You noticed while he was trying to use the handkerchief to distract Castox to not see what he was doing with his other hand, he did in fact reach into one of his little pouches on his belt and pulled out a metallic cylindrical object, and you saw him place it on the vehicle that he was inspecting. But you can't quite see what it was he put on the vehicle, but you are for sure he pulled something out of his pouch and did something with it and put it on the vehicle.
How far from me is he?
What's that?
How far away from me is he?
He's like a good 30 feet.
How far away is Odie from me?
Odie is a bit closer because she wanted to make sure she would be the first one he faced if shit started.
Okay. And the wild dogs would really like to eat him, apparently. Um let's see. Okay.
Back in the distance, there's some Tatooine wild animals giving no noise. If you've seen Book of Boba Fett, it's the dog creatures that the Tuscans raise.
Yes. Okay, who hasn't seen Book of Boba Fett? Come on. Okay. Remind me of douchebag's name, please.
Sass. Underboss. Sass.
Sass?
Shaase. He pronounces it Sass, like the fabric store.
Okay. Well, Mr. Sassy, what do you need from us so I can have you and your guards go away for a little bit so I can send my Odie's guards a little bit away so we can play in my ship? I like stare at him and blink innocently at him while he dead eyes me. And I take a step closer. Or I start like walking towards him, but also kind of towards Rawl. So it looks like it's like, oh, I'm walking towards to be more part of the conversation. Maybe I'm going to walk up to my lover. Maybe I'm going to, who knows where I'm sauntering, but I'm definitely coming closer to the party.
He tucks his handkerchief back in his blouse under his armor and says, "Why, if I was to be busy purchasing these vehicles and those containers, I would be more than busy enough for you to have some entertainment time with your friend here."
You want to what the trucks? I'm sorry. Some dust flew in my ear and I'm not quite sure I heard you properly.
I would like to purchase these vehicles along with the cargo containers you have on board your ship to make sure you have a very profitable time. I will gladly pay you for those cargo containers in a sum of 20,000 credits.
See, I only have the one container, and like I told you, it's for my visit. You can't take away my. How am I supposed to one day convince my darling Oti to leave her tedious husband if I can't keep showing her exciting new things from off planet? Because I shut the cargo door before he came. So he only sees what's outside.
Well, remember, they were offloading your cargo.
And I shut the door, like they weren't done. And so I shut the cargo bay before they arrived. So it's only whatever was out, which wasn't everything. Okay. Right?
So, you mean your time isn't worth 20,000 credits for delivering these vehicles and that cargo container?
They're not my vehicles to sell. They belong to those individuals. And there is no price tag for my pleasure.
Oh, Madam Mayor, am I to speak with you about this business? And as soon as he says that, he just smiles big, and his pointed, shaved, sharp teeth look even more menacing when she looks at you, and you see that she instinctively, when you step close to her, reaches out with a hand to hold your hand as if you are intimate friends, even though you can feel how cold and sweaty her palm is, as she gulps when he says that. As he steps a little closer so that he's within like 5 feet of the mayor and you standing together, and says, "Madam Mayor, I would make you the same offer, except for since Dusthaven is so important to my future escapades. If I were to pay you 20,000 for the container in one vehicle, and then an extra 20,000 on credit for the other two vehicles, Would that be something that you would be willing to negotiate?
So I don't think you understand when I tell you the container is not for sale because that is going to be used for my visit. So if you would like to discuss the purchase of her vehicles, you can discuss that with my Odie here. But the container is my pleasure container, not for sale.
That's very disappointing. Very, very disappointing.
So
I
is
don't know.
having.
I don't know if you're aware, but fresh ice would be such a delicious commodity. So delicious on this planet. Though I come from a desert planet, yeah, I was many, many cycles old before I experienced my first fresh glass of iced beverage. It brings back my youth. But if you're unwilling to sell the container, I will gladly understand how that may be. So, Madam Mayor, are you willing to sell me these three vehicles then for that same price, 20,000 credits, plus an additional 20,000 in credits with my master's business dealings? It would be a huge boon to your community. We could have fresh water delivered to your people in a very timely manner, even with such a well reserved account such as you would have then.
I'm going to jump in. Like, bud, you've worn out your welcome. They don't want any business with you. You better leave before things turn bad.
Ooh, I like an intimidating sound. Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a coercion roll.
Okay.
And just as you say that, something is going to happen.
Okay.
Oh, we
But go ahead.
finally have to roll initiative.
3 success, 3 advantage.
Okay. Immediately, you come out hard and fast like that. And he looks at the Gamorrean guards and gives like a definitive nod. And as he steps even closer to the mayor, he is like a foot away from the two of you, Aurora and the mayor. Just then, where you saw him messing around with the third vehicle, there's a beep, 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 beep. And as you threaten him, he gives this mouthy hiss at you like, how dare you use space trash? And he looks intimidated as shit against you. Which means he is not going to be doing anything at the moment. He's going to count on his guards to save his ass. But there is an explosion on the third truck that blows out one of its little repulsor discs in the back because he basically put a thermal freaking detonator on it. As kind of everyone ducks and covers for a brief moment, as the Twilight hisses at you and doesn't really do jack because you've scared the crap out of him because he's not used to people standing up to him. Everybody roll a vigilance check. And by the way, Castox, I'll let you roll vigilance or cool if you want.
Okay. Vigilance is better for me.
Since you
It's on the front page, or is that a combat one?
On the combat tab.
Okay.
So, Megan, you also want to go to your combat tab and roll that one. The vigilance initiative.
2 success, 5 advantage.
There you go. So, needless to say, you both are reacting a lot faster than the Gamorreans are, or any of the truckers.
It's
So,
almost like we came in to this knife fight with our guns prepared.
Hmm. As the Gamorreans, basically, each one looks like they're going to axe the driver that's reaching for weapons in their vehicles, and the mayor gave them the signal to not pull yet. They're going to each try to kill a driver. The mayor is very concerned, especially now that one of the vehicles is damaged, and she's going to totally follow Aurora's lead. As it's your guys' turn first. You got 4 Gamorreans. One is protecting their Twilight boss. The Twilight boss is totally backing away like an angry cat hissing at Castox, but not actually getting a chance to do anything yet.
If I can go first, I will use my "You will believe what I tell you." And I'm gonna tell the Gamorreans, your boss is about to betray you. You want to kill him now.
Oh.
As I make just discipline check against them.
Okay. So it's just a roll off, right?
Yep. And then I have a new talent where I can take a strain to increase a skill check or to upgrade a skill check. So I'll use that.
Okay, so you get 1 free upgrade?
Yep.
Okay, I've got the upgrade in there. We do have a balance to the force if you want to go for further upgrades.
Now I'll probably need it for using points.
What just happened here?
Gosh.
That looks. I
That
think
looks
those are most.
That looks disgusting. That's what it looks like.
Yep. So
not for us, right?
Oh no, it's bad for us. Well, wait, I failed, so they're not going to. So instead of, so with my advantages, then, since I have 6 of them, can I say, instead of them being willing to attack their boss, for them to just stand down, and not fight?
Okay, so for 3 they hesitate, and they all kind of like squeal at each other and look at each other like they felt an itch in the back of their skull, but they didn't hear your words. It's like Dune, they didn't hear the voice, they just heard that you say something. And for the other 3, they're going to be confused because they're all saying something different to each other in Gamorrean, which just sounds a whole bunch like. And right now their boss is kowtowed to you, so they're kind of confused of, does that mean this guy's the boss? No, this guy's not the boss. The other guy's the boss.
Okay.
So you use your force powers, and they're too stupid. They're 1 purple saves them. They're too stupid to understand your orders. Or maybe it's just Gamorrean lifestyle. Of course, betrayal. Everyone betrays, especially during mating season. If you've ever read any of the Bad Legends books, they actually talk about.
So I have a talent called Natural Mystic. Once per session, reroll any 1 force power check. Okay, use that to reroll.
You can. Is there any cost to it, or you just do it once per session?
Once per session.
Okay, you could totally do it if you want.
Okay, let's hope the second time's better. What?
Okay, I correct myself. That roll is more disgusting than the first one. Because it's the exact same results.
Yep. So okay.
You take a moment, and now that you are embracing the dark side, you thought it would be easier, and you sigh and push your force powers, and it's just that these Gamorreans are that fucking stupid that they don't connect your word chain together.
Okay.
But they are currently out of the fight until somebody does something to get them back in the fight.
Okay.
I mean, you're pretty sure the drivers at the end of this initiative are probably going to start pulling guns and shooting people. That's probably what's going to happen to change their mind of inaction. So, Aurora, what are you going to do?
Well, I have an itchy finger. I just want to take out my blaster and shoot it over at the Twi'lek and just be done with him.
The Twi'lek is like 3 feet away from you. You could totally pull it out and just shoot him point blank, but not at the point blankness that would give you negatives.
I kind of want to just shoot him.
Castox has been a good influence on you.
You know, I told him earlier that I like lost a week, but all I remember is some pretty shitty stuff. So all I had to do is roll the gun, right?
So if you're going to shoot him, would you like to use any light side points? Would you like to aim?
I mean, I was just going to kind of like Star Wars it and, pull it out and shoot it at him and let the Force take control.
Aurora shot first and let the Force take the wheel.
Yes.
Okay. So I've got your difficulty in there if you want to pull your blaster out and shoot.
All right. Well, let's see.
So you pull your blaster out. And the shot goes just shy of the Twi'lek. Maybe you were trying to intimidate him. Maybe you were just a little too eager on the trigger finger. And the blaster bolt shoots out as he's hissing at Castox. And then he looks at you and realizes, you just shot at me! What would you like for your 2 advantage?
I would like for him to piss his pants. And for him to want to disengage without further conflict.
I can't give that to you for just 2 advantage. If you had a triumph, I would totally give that
to you. For him to be even more scared then? Actually, maybe. So he pissed his pants and he sharted a little bit. And is more terrified than he was to begin with, and is questioning his life choices to lead him to this moment.
Okay. So if anyone's going to go for a intimidation, I will definitely give them a blue die. As I'm assuming Twi'lek have cloaca, because it's fun to say cloaca. As he moistens his cloaca. In not the good way. Okay. At this moment, the Gamorreans are frozen in confusion because they have like a whole bunch of different things going through their heads. Are we herbivores? Are we omnivores? Are we ferocious pig people? Does that ship smell like a female in heat? What? So all these confusing thoughts. As the drivers are all pulling out blaster rifles. But unfortunately, they're not sexy, cool blaster rifles. They're civilian homestead rifles. And they're each going to shoot the Gamorrean next to them.
So no one else is going after the boss.
Well, they're more worried about the Gamorrean with the big vibro axe in their face. So,
I mean, sure.
Wow. Not a single one of these farmer folks hit one of these big, plump, green eggs and bacon pig people.
Got a whole bunch of people with some problems.
However, the last guy will shoot at the Gamorrean that's next to the Twi'lek, his bodyguard, and say, "Mayor, get to cover!" And we'll totally use that triumph for the mayor to grab Aurora by the hand and pull her, unless you don't want to go with, you can always let go of her hand and stay there with the Twi'lek, to hide behind the truck from the Gamorreans with their axes.
Hands. I remember letting go.
You're letting go so you can face the Twi'lek? Because you refuse to bow down to a guy named Sass?
Yeah, I'm not one to run away from a fight. I'll kind of squeeze her hand and let go.
Okay. As she gives this like terrified look as she gets behind the hood of the furthest cargo vehicle, the one that's almost been loaded, and she uses the vehicle as cover between you guys and them, and that kind of shakes the Gamorreans out of their stupor because they all got shot at, but nobody got hit because that's how bad these farmers are. So, top of the order. The mayor is now safely behind one of the vehicles. The
I
Twilight
will.
is now definitely thinking about fleeing at this point.
I'll try to use the other part of influence to stress people's mind. So I'll try to stress the Gamorreans' minds
Okay.
to basically try to knock them off. So I make a roll against their discipline if you want it, and then for every pip it inflicts 2 strain, and I can, if I get enough pips, I can do multiple targets and stuff like that.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a boo because they are confused at the moment.
Okay, and I'll take a strain to upgrade.
Okay, I've got the upgrade in there. Anything else that might give you an upgrade?
No. Actually, I'll take 3 strain to use my staff to add an extra white point to the destiny pool or to my force roll.
Okay. Do you got the extra pip, or do you want me to put the extra pip?
You can add it in.
Okay, I got it in there for you.
Okay, and then discipline. See if the dice behave. There we go.
Here's the discipline we've been told of.
Yep. So I will use all 7 points. So I'll take 4 more strain. And then, so let's see. So 1 to activate it. 1 for range, so I can go to medium range, which I'm assuming they're all going to be in.
Yep, that'll definitely get all 4 of the Gamorreans.
2 for magnitude, so that hit 5 people.
Okay, so you're going to go for the Twilight as well?
What do I have? 7. Yeah. And then, so I have 3 pips left, so I'll inflict 6 strain on all of them.
On everybody. Damn.
Yep.
Okay, so immediately you let out your little psychic scream, and does it feel like just a buzzing in their head, or they're having a slight aneurysm?
Yep. You see little blood start coming out of their little green blood start coming out of their noses.
The Twi'lek's eyes get even more bloodshot because his ears have those stupid little caps on them, freaking semi-lizards.
I told you should have left.
And when you say that, the Gamorreans all go, and they drop their axes and grab their ears. And the drivers that missed them with their rifles are just like, I think these pig boys have gone bad.
That's fine.
And I just want to check something.
Or if you want to go next.
Okay, the Gamorreans are still in play, though. They're not taken out, but they are hurt. And Aurora, what are you going to do? As you just saw this wave of anguish that with your slight unknown sensibilities totally reaches out, that you sense that this wave of anguish comes out. And Castox just spent a point, a destiny point for something. I'm assuming it was using the pips.
Yeah, use what I said, pips. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys scared me for a second. How far away am I standing from my new friend, the enemy?
Your new friend is like 4 feet away from you. It's just out of point blank range, but close enough if you had a melee weapon, say you could hit him with that. But far
So,
enough away that with a pistol you're not going to incur the negatives for being too close to shoot somebody.
so what I want to do is I want to walk up to him and I want to punch him in the nose.
Okay, punch him in the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's going to be a brawn roll
Yep.
against 2 purple, and you're going to do whatever your brawn is plus 1.
+1.
There you go. So you go up and you sock him in the face for 3 points before soak.
And I say, why are you ruining my day?
Ooh.
Because he probably doesn't believe me, but I am committed to my role right now.
You are totally in character and you're not going to break it.
Exactly.
As you hit him for less than 3 points of damage, but you actually do pop him in the nose. Okay? As he stands back and he just looks at you and just shakes his head at, how dare you strike an underdomo? I don't know which ways you're using against my people. Or are you some kind of Jedi or something?
I'm no Jedi.
And
I'm. Go for it.
you see him start to back away from you. He's backing towards his skiff.
I am a disgruntled lover who has some minion disrupting my afternoon with my friend, and I'm not even sure why. You said you're a major douchebag. Is that what you said your title was?
Underdomo.
Under shit. Got it. Underdog. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
As you mock him, and he's feeling not so brave after the yelling he took from your friend and the fact that he's got some internal hemorrhaging of angriness, and he just yells at his Gamorrean guards to kill them all and come back to the cantina when you're ready. And you see him, he's taking 2 strain, which is probably not the best choice for himself. And he's gonna jump onto his skiff, and he starts the engine up on the skiff because unfortunately for him he turned it off, so he can't zip away yet. But he is about to do that any second. As the
Can
Gamorrean,
someone shoot him or
huh?
shoot his skiff? I want to yell. Can someone shoot his skiff?
Well, you
It's
do
my
know
turn. Go over.
as a vehicle, regular hand-to-hand weapons don't do a lot of vehicle damage. It takes a lot of rifle damage to destroy a vehicle, because
But he's
vehicles are
so
like times 10.
squirrely. But if he's so squirrely, you shoot at his place, he'd go like and move his arm and give us more time.
You could always shoot him on stun too, and he'll just fall asleep at the controls.
I tried shooting him; it didn't work.
Well, you were trying to shoot him to kill. That's why you were so hesitant to take the kill shot. That's my defense, and I'm using it.
Okay. I don't seem like a cold-hearted killer to you today.
So immediately at his orders, the Gamorreans all kind of shake their heads. There's little green blood coming out of their ears as they're just getting their shit together. And they all look at each other in unison, and they go, "Roar!" And they reach down and all pick up their vibro axes and clinch the triggers to start them roaring again. And that's going to be their turn. So top of the order. Who's gonna do what?
Wait, did the farmers get to
The
do?
farmers go.
The farmers are all running for cover at this point because
Oh,
they
so
don't
they're-
know why the pig people just all screamed out in pain and had blood coming out of their ears. They're afraid it's the the legend of the desert wind. It's an evil wind
Gotcha,
that
so-
murders people. They just saw Sith magic at work and they were kind of freaked out about it.
All right. Well, I'll try to do some more Sith magic and freak them out some more. So I'll use the same power on the Gamorreans. But I can't do the extra pip.
You aren't gonna try to go after Dude Face to stop him from running away?
If I have enough, I will.
He's technically
I have
still
another.
medium range.
Okay. So we'll see what my pips give me.
Okay, I've got the Gamorrean's discipline up for you.
Okay.
Oh,
1 success and 3 advantages.
much
And then only 4 pips. So that power. 1 for range, 1 for magnitude. So I'll get 3 Gamorreans and inflict 4 more strain on them.
Okay, so the 3
Or
Gamorreans that you inflict that 4 strain, they pretty much make a gasping sound, and Aurora, you see 3 Gamorreans drop dead.
All hail the cash box. Okay.
And then I will use my other ability. Let me find it again, so I haven't used it before. For the Mystic ability, the Force is my ally. Once per session, I may take 2 strain to do a force maneuver or force power as a maneuver instead of an action. So I'll do the strain attack again. There's 1 Gamorrean left in Douchebag.
There's 1 Gamorrean in Douchebag.
I'll try it on Douchebag.
You're going to try it on Douchebag?
Yep.
Okay, he is
So
more
2
disciplined by a
strain.
much.
And then I will use my other ability to upgrade my check. Take 1 strain to upgrade my check.
Okay, as poor Castox is like sweating with all this mental discipline and mind powers you're using.
Never mind. That one takes a maneuver to do. So, so you take away the upgrade. Yep, no upgrade.
I was gonna say you can always hit that last light side point if you want it.
I made it use light side points. So discipline. Boo.
As you do your mental power on the Twilight, and he just looks back at you and hisses again. His mental defenses are up. What do you think you are, a Jedi or something?
Nope, not a Jedi. Just a wielder of the Force.
As he hisses at Castox. He doesn't know why exactly, but he has a dirty feeling against Castox. As you take 1 strain for that threat.
Okay. I'm not unconscious yet. I'm at 4 strain.
As all of a sudden Castox has realized it's not 120 degrees out here, but he's sweating like it is. Okay.
My turn?
Aurora, you've got 3 dead Gamorreans whose brains just exploded by pure force power. You've got 1 Gamorrean that was standing next to you in the Mayor and the Twilight and is now just standing next to you, going, what the hell just happened? As he's hopping in the air looking at the dead Gamorreans, going, Fritz! You got Fritz! You killed Fritz! And the Twilight at medium range is getting ready to take off in his skiff.
Shoot him.
What did you say?
Shoot him.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what I was planning on doing. I'm gonna go shoot.
Okay, so before you shoot,
Wow.
that's definitely not the right dice pool to shoot. I mean, you rolled 2 to spare,
Cool.
I'd love that. But he's at medium range, so that's 2 purple. Are you aiming when you shoot at him?
Yes, I am aiming this time.
Or do you want to use a maneuver to go to short range?
You could always take 2 strain as well to get closer to make the shot easier.
Sure. Sure.
So that changes it from 2 purple to 1 purple.
Exactly. And there does happen to be 1 light side pip left if you wanted to use the Destiny pool. Since you've been using it so much tonight, I just want to offer that before I use it.
What do you think?
Nah, you should be fine.
Okay, cool. I've been very greedy with it.
Then I will use it. Okay, now go ahead and take that shot. Apparently it wasn't helpful enough.
But I got 4 explodies.
I was
And were you
saying it
shooting
wasn't
one?
helpful enough for me, not for you. It was helpful enough for you.
I was gonna
So
say that those symbols usually mean I did something.
those symbols said you
We're-
did a lot. So it's going to be 6 damage plus 1 for each success.
Damn.
How much damage did you do before his soak?
And are you shooting on stun to knock him unconscious or shoot to be lethal?
I am shooting to be lethal.
Okay.
Damn, you Castox has such an influence on her. So Megan, what is your total damage?
I don't know.
So it's 6, you know how it shows 6 on the damage there, plus 1 for each starburst you have, so each success.
That's 10.
10 damage. He only has a soak of 2. So he's taken 8 points on top of the 7 he's already taken, which is, what does it look like when he is on the skiff, ready to hit the button to make it go whoop and fly away, and you gun him down with still 3 advantage to spend?
So he's about to gun it, and instead he like flops down on the controls and then slowly slides to the ground and like a little thump.
As he hits the ground and you look down your smoking barrel and realize that you just gunned him down. Evil bastard.
Realize that was the intent.
And then there's the one Gamorrean that turns around and looks at you shooting his boss, and turns around and looks at your smoking blaster, and totally raises his axe over his head in the traditional Gamorrean signal for retreat, and goes running away into the desert going,
All right. Well, looks like we got a couple bodies to dispose of. You guys can use a skiff, right?
and the locals are like, yeah. As of course, at that very moment, the locals are taking the rifles and shooting the dead Gamorreans in the ground just to be sure, because they ain't got no blaster bolts in them. They may not be dead.
Yeah, because their brains out means they're not dead.
And the mayor immediately looks at you, Aurora, and says, Aurora, I know I owe you 3,800 credits, and we're good for it here in Dusthaven. Will you let me double that amount if you can protect my town from the next group of the Underdomo's men that come through here looking for their boss?
Yeah, you got a good burial spot?
And one of the guys totally looks at the dead Gamorrean on the ground and says, this is what we do to Hut employees. And he starts kicking dirt on top of them, all Young Gun style.
That's not a good burial spot, mother trucker. Mr. Farmer, we need a actual good burial spot because our little handkerchief friend is going to have gone on vacation and we aren't going to know why he hasn't stopped by. Capiche?
Oh, as we get this screen swipe where all the farmers pull out shovels on their vehicles that just happen to be back there in the toolbox because these are good old boys. And we get this montage of holes being dug and the Gamorreans and the Twi'lek being buried in the ground, and The mayor, she kind of pulls her hat off for a second for a moment of silence. And then the rest of the farmers go, these people don't deserve this, but they're getting a decent burial anyway. And they bury this little mass grave with the Gamorreans, with the Twi'lek's handkerchief landing on his face just right. As we get the screen swipe of you guys montaging the water containers and dropping them off in the old spice mine that's around the rocks there. And then the crew is invited to come to town for some libation and refreshments, as long as you're willing to protect the town from the inevitable fallback that's going to happen.
We can hang out. We can hang out here till it happens.
I recently started doing something in real life to help combat my road rage, where I flip someone off and then I do the finger gun. So I would like to do that to the gravesite.
Nice.
It's very effective when people are being douchebags. And I would like to like in our hanging out with these people, helping them out sort of thing, I would like to help them figure out a way to, like, in the place where we were, like where I was hidden, I'd like to help figure out a way to make that section a hidden water farming facility.
Ooh. Okay. If at this point you flip a light side, I will say that you can in fact do that.
Fine, I'll flip the fucking light side. Let's do it. It gets the right screen.
Okay. Conveniently, where one of the stray farmers' rifle shots that were supposed to kill the Gamorreans that failed miserably, a rock got carbon scoring on it. And you see that there's drips coming out of the rock. As there's a very rare natural water source right here where you parked the ship by pure accident. Maybe it was your ship landing in this little cove that vibrated the rocks. Maybe it was the blaster bolt that just made us have to notice it. But you have in fact discovered a not too shabby artisanal water mine in this area.
Nice. So that means that when they get their equipment, they can have a discrete water farming facility, while still maintaining the illusion of being dependent on the huts.
On being water poor. Because nobody wants a homestead. That's water poor.
Except the huts. The huts want a homestead that is water poor.
When they control all the water. Yes, they do.
And then I'll offer to the mayor. So we have 6 other barrels of water in there. If you are willing to part with 6,000 credits, we'll give you all 6. We just need the containers back when they're empty.
She will gladly pay 6,000 credits for those barrels.
Okay.
Because what's even better, she's just like, hey, I can send them off to some of the homesteads that are outside of town. Is, good for at least a week's worth of water.
Okay.
She will totally make sad face when you say you would like the barrels returned when they're empty.
I was taken back to get credit for their return. Unless you want to pay me an extra 1,500, then you can keep the barrels.
She will make sure the barrels come back.
Okay.
As you guys get the containers hidden away in the spice mine, you totally get to town. She puts you up in the cantina. It's got, 2 rooms. If the rest of your crew wants to join, she can send a vehicle to come pick them up. And the mayor will gladly take this skiff and hide it somewhere in town. And you guys will be there to help protect the town when the fallback for this douchebag, Underdomo, black marketeer not coming home to his big hut papa. Oh wait, it's Garata. as all of a sudden the camera swings over to Garata the Hutt's little palace, and on the jukebox is playing the "Put Your Hands in the Air, Big Garata."